Wilson Morales, Black Film and TV. Hello, Alyson. How are you?
Hi, I love your fancy curtain.
Either I get to take it off or keep it on.
I love it. It makes me feel like you're in an actual theater.
That's good. So, Flora Ulysses, I didn't know what I was watching when I first played it on, but then I see the whole comic book story. Okay, you got me on that one. You got me from the word comics. So you're playing a mom to a girl who is into comic books and finds this adorable squirrel. So how relatable is this to you? Do you allow your kids to read comics?
Yes, actually, I absolutely I would. They haven't gotten into the sort of the action hero comics yet. But they love, like, the biggest thing in their lives right now is graphic novels. But I did give my my older daughter, like, one of my prized childhood books, which was the Calvin and Hobbes, like the essential Calvin and Hobbes. So not an actiony comic, but definitely like one of my favorite comics growing up, and she loved it as well. So that was really cool. Like, hey, she gets what I got about it. But as far as the action stuff, that they love graphic novels, but I don't know if that really counts as like, I probably just did a big comic book faux pas of, like, that's a whole different category. You can't compare a comic book and a graphic novel. Just leave. Might have just, like, offended a lot of people. So I apologize. But I'm going to play the mom card, and I'm like, I'm just a mom. I don't know what are you kids watching right now? Like, comics or graphic novels? Or did the same thing? No. But they're like a family, maybe.
So when this script came along, obviously, I'm assuming you get some scripts torn at you. Your agent goes, I think this will be good for you. What was the, what made you say yes?
Well, I was a big fan of the book. I've been a big fan of Kate DiCamillo's books since my oldest daughter was 5, and we read Mercy Watson. So, and then as they grow up, we get into the older skewing audience books. And so we had read Flora Ulysses and, of course, loved it. So my immediate instinct was like, yeah. But then it was like, wait, read the script, because maybe you're just saying that because you love the book. And then so nervously, I read the script and I loved it. And they captured everything that I love about the book and more. And so it was a no-brainer, and I was just so thrilled that I got to be a part of it. And the fact that my kids were so excited, and it was something that I didn't have to explain to them because they were already familiar with it. They were like, they were so happy too.
Now, is there anything within the character that you added to it that's different from the book? Or is it just everything on the page?
No. I would say there is a difference between the mom, Phyllis, in the movie than in the book. I feel like in the movie she's a lot softer, and I love that all the characters are so flawed, but like, they have good intentions. They just sort of like lost focus of what really matters. And so I just feel like that's super relatable. And even though we're like talking about, a squirrel superhero, it's oddly like a sort of natural movie that you can totally just believe, even though it's a superhero squirrel.
What do you think kids for those who have not read the book, because I didn't know it was based on a book, what do you think kids get out of it? Obviously they're going to see this movie and it's a squirrel, but is there anything more of it that makes it a whole family film?
Absolutely. I mean, my whole family, my husband enjoyed it just as much as the kids. And I don't like watching myself, and I really enjoyed it. I just got so engaged. I mean, Ulysses the squirrel is just so endearing and wonderful. And so I feel like it's definitely going to appeal to animal lovers. It's going to appeal to people that like comics. It's going to appeal to people who like comedy. I think parents and families are going to relate to just the realness of this family dynamic, and and just the struggles that families go through day in and day out. But it also just has such a message of like hope, and that you've always got to like try to keep hope in your life, and it's okay to hope. So I think that's just such a profound message while the world is going through what we're all going through right now. So it's like aptly timed.
I said this is such a small world. Obviously anybody old enough knows you from the different series you've done. Obviously you're on a Disney Plus film, and people who are old enough remember you from Buffy. Last week I spoke to Emma Caulfield, who's on WandaVision, and I go, you've worked such a long time, you've gone different projects. What is it that makes you say yes to the projects you take?
I mean, I guess I've always trusted my instincts, and it's just kind of a gut decision. I mean, and now obviously being a mom, a lot of other things come into play of just like life choices of like, will this work out, with my schedule and the kids and stuff like that. But as far as like what I look for when I read something, it really isn't, I couldn't like put it on paper. It's a feeling that I get. And when I listen to that, I'm always happy with the results. And when I've been talked into things, I'm always just like, I should have listened to my instincts. So I've had both, but if I just trust my gut, I'm usually, it works out for me.
And then the actress that plays Flora, she's such an amazing young actress. She did a good job. Talk to me about playing her mom, and and I don't know if you got to teach her anything, or she's just that gifted.
Oh, she is so gifted. She is so talented, and she's so professional. And her family is just as wonderful. And they always say don't work with children and animals, and I ignored both of those. And honestly, she's just one of the like most favorite people I've worked with across the board. Certainly in the children department, but I can include her in the adult department as well. And she's up there because she's just a dream, and she's so talented. And she was just like, I love her just to death. I just couldn't speak any more highly about Matilda. She's a dream, and she's so special. And I was a child actor, so like I've been around child actors, and they terrify me because I was one, and I saw all of the different elements to what child actors can be. So it is. I understand where the like advice of don't work with children, don't work with animals. But she certainly could like squash that role immediately. And did.
We're approaching a year since this pandemic started, and we're now used to being home. Are you more disciplined, being home with the kids and working all at the same time?
Well, when you said disciplined, I thought of like working out. So I was like, no, I'm not disciplined. I need to be able to go to a class and work out again, because I can't do it on my own. But that's where my brain went. But I feel like it's a weird balance of California's been in stay at home. I maybe it was lifted, but I don't really know what that means, except that like some people can eat outside now, but we're all still staying at home, or at least we are, and the kids are still doing school here. So it doesn't feel like anything was really lifted, which is fine. I just like, let's just get it all under control, and it's fine. I'll stay at home. But I think I was noticing that once after the summer vacation and we were back into Zoom school, I like had all this sort of like all these things to balance, and like all the sort of, this, that, okay, this, that. And I'm like, so I went from like, hey, this is just like, we just get to, do whatever we feel like, and we're going to like go outside and climb a tree, And now I feel like all the pressure of like, the kids have to go to school, I have to return this email, and like it all came down, but nothing in my surroundings changed. Like, because normally with school, you drive to school and you drop them off, you say goodbye and you do the thing and then you go do your, but like, I was still in my house. It just, all that stuff came back on. And I was like, it definitely took me a minute of like, wow, why I haven't left the house. And yet I suddenly feel so overwhelmed with all of the stuff that's on my plate. And it was like last week that I was just like enjoying this nice, like, it's like slow life again and great. So it's all like a matter of settling into what the new normal is. But I think the hardest transition was not the original like stay at home last year, but it was the after the summer break going back into remote learning. That was the biggest like difference for me and sort of struggle because I needed that drive. I just wanted to drive to school.
Well, Alyson, you did a good job with this movie. It's good seeing you.
Thank
Definitely
you.
have a safe day and take care.
You too. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.